Liberec is a city in the Czech Republic. Located on the Lusatian Neisse and surrounded by the Jizera Mountains and Ještěd-Kozákov Ridge, it is the fifth largest city in the Czech Republic. Settled by German and Flemish migrants from the 14th century until their expulsion after World War II, Liberec was once home to a thriving textile industry and hence nicknamed the Manchester of Bohemia. For many Czechs, Liberec is mostly associated with the city's dominant Ještěd Tower. Since the end of the 19th century, the city has been a conurbation with the suburb of Vratislavice and the neighboring town of Jablonec nad Nisou. Therefore the total area with suburbs encompasses 150,000 inhabitants. This makes Liberec the third largest city in Bohemia after Prague and Plzeň. History: Liberec was first mentioned in a document of 1348 and from 1622 to 1634 was among the possessions of Albrecht von Wallenstein. After his death it belonged to the Gallas and Clam Gallas families. The cloth-making industry was introduced in 1579. The prosperous local industry was interrupted by the 30 Years' War and a Great Plague in the 1680s. The Battle of Reichenberg between Austria and Prussia occurred nearby in 1757 during the 7 Years' War. Until 1918 the town was part of the Austrian monarchy, seat of the Reichenberg district, one of the 94 Bezirkshauptmannschaften in Bohemia. At one time the second city of Bohemia, the city developed rapidly at the end of the 19th century and as a result has a spectacular collection of late 19th century buildings. The town hall, the opera house and the Severoeska copyright museum are of note. The opera house has a spectacular main curtain designed by the Austrian artist Gustav Klimt. The neighborhoods on the hills above the town center display beautiful homes and streets, laid out in a picturesque romantic style similar to some Central European thermal spas. After the end of World War I, Austria-Hungary fell apart. The Czechs of Bohemia joined newly established Czechoslovakia on October 29, 1918 whilst the Germans joined German Austria on November 12, 1918, both citing Woodrow Wilson's 14 points and the doctrine of self-determination. Reichenberg was declared the capital of the German-Austrian province of German Bohemia. On December 16, 1918 the Czechoslovak army occupied Reichenberg and the whole province and both became part of Czechoslovakia. During the 1920s and 1930s Liberec became the unofficial capital of Germans in Czechoslovakia. A position was underlined by the foundation of important institutions such as Počeraj der Duchin, a central German library in Czechoslovakia and by failed efforts to relocate the German university there from Prague. The Great Depression devastated the economy of the area with its textile, carpet, glass and other light industry. The high number of unemployed people, hunger, fear of the future and dissatisfaction with the Prague government led to the flash rise of the populist Sudeten German Party, founded by Konrad Henlein, born in the suburbs of Liberec. Whilst he declared fidelity to the Republic, he secretly negotiated with Adolf Hitler. In 1937 he radicalized his views and became Hitler's puppet in order to incorporate the Sudetenland into Germany and destabilize Czechoslovakia, which was an ally of France and one of the leading arms producers in Europe. The city became the center of pan-German movements and later of the Nazis, especially after the 1935 election, despite its important Democratic mayor, Karl Kostka. The final change came in summer 1938, after the radicalization of the terror of the SDP, whose death threats forced Kostka and his family to flee to Prague. In September 1938, after two unsuccessful attempts by the SDP to stage a pro-Nazi coup in Czechoslovakia, which were stopped by police and the army, the Munich Agreement awarded the city to Nazi Germany and it became the capital of the Sudetenland region. Most of the city's Jewish and Czech population fled to the rest of Czechoslovakia or were expelled. The important synagogue was burned down. During a rally in December 1938, Hitler laid out the future of the Hitler Youth. After World War II the town again became a part of Czechoslovakia and nearly all of the city's German population was expelled following the Benia decrees. The region was then resettled with Czechs. The city continues to have an important German minority, consisting of anti-Nazi Germans who were active in the struggle against Hitler, as well as Germans from Czech German families and their descendants. Liberec also has a Jewish minority with a newly built synagogue and a Greek minority, originating from communist refugees who settled there after the Greek Civil War in 1949. Historical names. The origin of the city name was the subject of many discussions, often nationally influenced, because it was a bilingual settlement. The oldest known names of the city are German, Reichenbach and Reichenberg, meaning rich resourceful mountain. It was also named Reichenberg and Rickenberg. The Czech equivalent originated as a distortion, Richbert, Leichbert, Libercum, Libert, and finally Liberec. In Czech, words starting with L were often dissimulated into L. Since then, the city was known as Liberec in Czech and as Reichenberg in German. Hablo, the name of the old street near city centre, is considered to be a trace of the old village possibly founded by Havel of Lembert, husband of Saint Zdislava Berka. Science and Technology. Technical University of Liberec, founded in 1953 as a technical college. In 1995 gained the status of a university. It has about 10,000 students in 6 schools. Applied Research in Mechatronics, important school of architecture. Regional Science Library, a general public science library, aiming at general education in the region. Originally founded in 1923 as a new umbrella library Pocherai der Deutschen. New building was completed in 2000. It has an exceptional collection of Germano-Slavica and Sudetica. Its building comprises also a modern synagogue. The North Bohemian Museum, built in 1873. It ranks among the oldest and most significant museums of nature sciences, arts and crafts in the Czech Republic. There is the sculpture of T.G. Mazarek from 2010 standing in front of the museum. Sites. Liberec's prominent buildings are the Town Hall, the Liberec Castle, built in the 16th century, and the Ještěd Tower upon the Ještěd Mountain, built by architect Karel Huber Infinite Eck, which became a symbol of the city. Václav Havel held a broadcast from the site of the tower in 1968. A plaque beside the tower marks this event. Contemporary buildings of note are also to be found, primarily the work of the firm SIAL, and include the new Regional Research Library and the Aljaska Podjasijenovna office building. Neo-Renaissance FX Angstrom Older Theatre was built in 1871 to 1872. Centrum Babylon Liberec include a large water park, an amusement park, a casino, shopping court and hotel. Zoo and Botanical Garden. The zoo in Liberec was the first to be opened in Czechoslovakia in 1919. The zoo contains a wide variety of fauna, including large mammals like elephants, giraffes, sea lions and white tigers, which are a genetic anomaly and hence very rare. It participates in breeding activities of endangered species to help preserving the gene pool. The Botanical Garden in Liberec comprises 9 glasshouses for visitors and 13 exhibition themes, 9 plantation glasshouses and a large exterior terrain. It continues the legacy of a botanical garden established in 1876 by the Verinder Nature Fund on a nearby site, and it is therefore considered the oldest one in the Czech Republic. Events. Mateo Unregistered Trademark Inca, a theatre festival biennially held in June. Transport. Liberec City Transport provides bus and tram lines. The first tram was used in Liberec in 1897. Liberec shares the narrow-gauge tramway line which connects it to its neighbouring city, Jablonec nad Nisou, which is 12 kilometres away. There are also 2 city lines with standard gauge. The first connects Horna Hanichov and Lidova Copyright via Far 1/4 Gnaruva. The second connects Dolna Hanichov and Lidova Copyright via Far 1/4 Gnaruva. There are also 4 historical trams. In the city centre there are 2 tracks as a memorial. In the past trams were used also on the central place in front of Town Hall. A private international airport is located 5 kilometers from Liberec, at the nearby village of Ostrov. Sports. The city is home to FC Slovan Liberec, a football club founded in Liberec and currently playing the Gambrinus Liga, the highest division of Czech football. Slovan Liberec is one of the most successful clubs in the Czech Republic, having won 3 league titles. Ice hockey team HC Barlotiga unregistered trademark I Liberec play in the Czech Extraliga, the highest national ice hockey league. Liberec has hosted 2 European Luge Championships, having done so in 1914 and 1939. In 2009, it hosted the FIS Nordic World Ski Championships. The Ski Jumping World Cup always comes to Liberec in January. The World Karate Championships took place in May 2011. In 2015, from August 15 to August 23, Liberec plays host to the 2015 World Mountain Bike Orienteering Championships. Notable people: Emil Artin, mathematician; Cesar Benner, cross-country skier; Arthur Beer, astronomer; Guido Beck, physicist; Barbara Boucher, actress and entrepreneur; Vlasta Berian, actor; Martin Cikl, World Cup ski jumper; Martin Dam, tennis player; Christoph Demantius, composer and poet; Lucas Soderna, ice hockey player; Thomas Soinge, former F1 driver; Herbert Feigl, philosopher; Friedrich Karl Ginzel, astronomer; Konrad Heinlein, Nazi politician; Heinrich Kirchner, economist; Zuzana Hajova, athlete; Alder and registered trademark at Kaiser, actor; Harold Kreutzberg, dancer and choreographer; Marcus La1/4 Pertz, artist; Roderick Menzel, tennis player; Josef Nadler, Petr Nedved, former National Hockey League player, now playing for HC Barlotiga unregistered trademark I Liberec; Czesław Nedved, ice hockey player; Edmund Nick, composer; Ferdinand Porsche, car designer born in a nearby village now part of Liberec; Fritz Preußler, Luger; Ottfried Preußler, writer; Joseph Pruck, composer and teacher of Beda and registered trademark Xmaterna; Czesław Angstrom ADKA 1/2, composer; Augustin Schramm, communist politician and officer; Joachim Johann Nepomuk Spalowski, naturalist; Jan Varek, ice hockey player; Yemi Ad, choreographer and artist. International relations. Twin towns sister cities Liberec is twinned with Amersfoort, Netherlands; Amiens, France; Augsburg, Germany; Nigeria, Israel; St. Gallen, Switzerland; Zittau, Germany; Dunkirk, France; Kharkov, Russia. Closest cities, towns and villages. References. External links: Municipal website, Liberec Tourist Portal, Facebook page, Tramway Liberec, Liberec Botanical Garden, Liberec Zoo, Liberec Travel Guide from Wiki Voyage, Oblastny Gallery v Liberec, unofficial Liberec trip planner.